Litre-class motorcycles sit at the top of the food chain. Apex predators in performance, electronics and technology, these machines are meant to set new lap records every single year. One such motorcycle in the mix is the Kawasaki Ninja ZX-10R. With engineers furiously taking notes from their WSBK performances, the Ninja name has dominated the racing circuit for a very long time. Today on PowerDrift, I take the new 10R out for a spin and try to understand if the changes for the year 2021 are significant and if this indeed is value for money.
The Ninja ZX-10R was always a good-looking motorcycle. For the year 2021, I'm not too sure, especially from the front. I've heard some say that it's got a face only a mother can love, but I've also heard some say that it looks like a shark lurking in the hunt. Personally, I think the previous models were better looking overall. They looked mean, they were sharp, they look sportier as well. Point to note, when you look at this from the side, there is no way to distinguish this from the previous generation models. Pretty much everything looks the same. Plus, you've got stickering. However, these motorcycles are more function than form.
Function? It doesn't have winglets. Wrong. They are integrated into the fairing. The function is built into the form. Move to the back and you will see slots in the tail cowl too. The windscreen is slightly larger as well. Everything contributes to aerodynamics and better wind flow. And again, in this class it's a lot less about looks and a lot more about shaving tenths of lap times.
I cannot believe I'm saying this, but the new 10R only makes 203 PS. It's like that redundant only that you have at the end of an impossibly large check for your house. Except that every other bike in this segment makes more power. For example, the new CBR, the Fireblade, not only has 2 extra Rs, but it also makes about 50 PS more. And guys, please don't even get me started on the Panigale. It's easy to see why this 10R is more of an update than a complete generation change. And in this update, the engine's been tuned and tweaked to make it Euro 5 or BS6 compliant.
In my experiences, inline fours like revs. Off the bottom they are flat and they turn into lunatics as the red line approaches. Kawasaki's countered that bottom end problem by giving the 10R shorter gearing for the first 3 gears, and it's also added 2 teeth to the rear sprocket. Not just bottom end, the 10R now has serious mid-range punch. It will elevate your heart rate as a liter bike is supposed to, without needing 11,000 RPM or more all the time. The way it pulls out of corners is absolutely brilliant. Stay in the right gear, get on the gas, and it almost frowns upon how traditional inline 4 engines should behave. That's how good the power delivery is. Unfortunately, here in India, I'm still on a closed road and not at a racetrack. And understanding how it gets to the very top or how it feels flat out remains to be seen. A track review in the near future? Hell yeah.
The Ninja has slowly moved or transitioned from being a comfortable super sport to an aggressive one for the year 2021. So the pegs are slightly rear set, seats gone up, the handlebars moved slightly ahead. Now all of this transitions to a proper tuck behind the windscreen, but it also means wrist and back aches for most of us. But there are changes under the skin, serious changes. A couple of interesting things that I want you to listen to. Number one, the length of the swing arm has increased, so technically when you get on the gas, it should help the motorcycle put power to the rear wheel easily. The question is, does it? My answer, yes it does. And second, the weight has slightly moved to the front. That should also ideally mean a difficult motorcycle to ride. But a tighter rake has ensured that the Ninja doesn't lose out on any of its handling abilities. So the question again is, does it handle well? My answer, yes sir, it does.
The suspension in its current setup feels fantastic, and it should. These are Showa's best units, but only when the road is straight. It will still need an overhaul before it hits the track. For a motorcycle that makes 200 HP, stopping power is a must. Brakes are usually over-engineered in most of these motorcycles, but I wish the 10R came with the Brembo Stylema calipers because they are absolutely fantastic. Nothing against the M50s it comes with. I love the bite, more the progression, but personally, nothing comes close to the stopping power of the Stylema, and that for me is a big miss.
Apart from the usual traction control, launch control riding modes, the new 10R now gets cruise control. Now before you say, "Arey, Ali, bye," here's why it makes sense. You know, most of the times when you're out on the highways, this ergonomic position can cause aches and pains. It's fairly obvious. Cruise control allows you to set a speed and give the throttle hand some much needed rest. On bikes this committed, it's a small but important feature for the very few who are going to take this out for a longer spin. The new 10R also gets a new digital cluster. By the way, I love the old cluster, love the way the rev counter used to light up. Anyway, this right here, nothing fancy, nothing too audacious, it's just decent. However, when you're inside the menu, toggling between different levels of traction control, trying to stray away from the 3 modes and setting up a personalized rider mode, that can get a bit tricky, but that's where the owner's manual, a booklet that is ignored by so many of us, that's where it comes handy.
The real question is, at rupees 14.99 lakh, am I being duped? Am I settling for less power? The simple answer to those questions is no. It might make less power and have slightly less electricity. But first, 200 bhp is easier to use in the brochure than in 99% of riding situations. And second, the Japanese have inherently been more conservative with electronics. The Germans and the Italians have a bag full of them. And if you are an intermediate rider, exploring all that power with the help of electronic aids is definitely useful. The Kawasaki though has enough for sure. And don't forget, this is Johnny Ria's bike before it was race tuned, a 6-time champion.
Put together all that, ability, equipment, performance, and there is no escaping it. You know, the price of the 10R is absolutely stunning. It's insane to know that at the price of a top trim Kia Sonet, which is one of the best compact SUVs in India right now, you can get yourself home one of the world's sharpest, most powerful motorcycles. Almost makes me wish that other brands learnt this part from Kawasaki, in fact. Also remember that Kawasaki's got a reputation for expensive spares and service in India. But come on guys, 15 lakh for a litre-four motorcycle, that is plain ridiculous. Blows my mind. I would also like to say that 9 out of 10 ZX-10Rs will show up and thrill riders on a Sunday ride. But this is a motorcycle which is born for the racetrack. So if you do happen to buy one, take it to where it belongs. And on that note, thank you so much for watching our review of the 2021 Kawasaki Ninja ZX-10R. I really hope you liked it. If you did, then do hit the like button, comment and let me know which was your favorite part in this video. And of course, share it with your friends who are fans of the Ninja series. Until the next one, my name is Varun Painter and I will see you later.